So this is our topic. We are discussing. We are doing project on to find how does demonetization and COVID impacted the India's payment system. So we have two data sources here. One is the UPI data, which we are getting from the PhonePe. Uh, PhonePe Plus, they have released a website where quarterly release their data. And the second website is the Reserve Bank of India, where we get the data of ATM and POS and cards spending statistics. After getting a data source, we are scrapping the data from those two websites. Scrap After scrapping, we since data has been already modeled, we didn't have to clean that much. So we came into the summary statistics and distribution preliminary visual analysis, in which we are displaying the displaying the visual analysis of our data, like ATM deploys by top 10 banks, eh, among which we can see the top 10 banks deployed ATMs over the years. Similarly, POS deployed by top 10 banks and cards issued by banks, and UPI categorized spending. In this, we are seeing the how UPI spending is in different categories: peer-to-peer, merchant payments, recharge and bill payments, financial services, and others. After this, we come into this section where we find the spending, average transaction, volume of transaction happening through ATMs before was around this amount, and after the demonetization, we see transaction through ATMs were not quite significant increased, where similarly through POS there is an increase of almost of 800% of there is an increase. We could see this to the average transaction after demonetization and before demonetization. So we will try to see the distribution plot of the volumes of the amount happened. So we all after plotting distribution of all the volumes of cards, ATMs, uh, ATM distribution, POS, we have found a common distribution plan, which is bimodal distribution. All the data are distributed distribution have the bimodal properties. So we will go through the hypothesis testing now. So we will form a table first in this, which records the events and the volumes through transaction happen. So in this, we take the events such as before demonetization, what are the volumes of transaction happen, like ATM, POS, and UPI. The volumes of before demonetization is 5,701. These are in like millions number. After demonetization, before COVID, and after COVID, these are the three events we take, and finding the doing the hypothesis testing on these three events, we found we able to reject the null hypothesis, which is volume of cards and UPI are not affected by demonetization and COVID. We reject the null hypothesis. After rejecting a null hypothesis, we come here to find a relationship analysis. So relationship analysis, in which we see what is happened through this over the phase of demonetization. So as you can see, there is actually a spike drop which has happened due to the 2000 data loss. There is no data entered by RBI in the time in this phase. So after the demonetization, there is not a there is not much significant increase of deployments of ATM over the years. It's constant. It's like a straight line, which indicates that ATMs have been banks have been deployed over a lot of ATMs during the, before demonetization. If we come to the POS deployment, same happened in 2013. There's a data loss which is not there. If we look at the demonetization phase, there is significant increase. The increase has been noted on at 6.65, means it is almost doubled. If I in an actual there is 100% increase, which is means there is to twice there is actually increased after demonetization. There is an increase of deployments, twice the number of POS machines. And we will check the what is the amount of average card transaction happening through monthly. Mm, so same, after plotting the graph, we got the the 2000 November and October, November and December. So in this phase we see this significant uh, drop in the transaction, which indicates that RBI which limited the transaction amount during the demonetization phase, which gradually picks up in actually March, February, which actually eases the uh, when which we RBI relaxed the demonetization transactions, which we can see after the demonetization there is actually 46%, very not that significant if we compare it with the POS transaction amount. So if you see to the POS, there is actually 255% increase in average scan through POS monthly. Is it 250 after the demonetization fees? So if we check, there is a significant spike. In the same phase, we saw a significant decline in it through ATMs, whereas in POS, the significant increase, which also resulted in a lot of transaction happening after people actually spending has been changed from the ATMs to POS machines nowadays. POS machines, there's a lot of if we see the same where people have during the COVID, people have been quite staying in the home, so which makes spending through cards on POS has significantly declined, which can be seen in the March where COVID restrictions start happened in India. And same if we extend it to at least till June, with significant decline, which indicates there are a lot of people movement have been restricted, which caused this POS spending has been declined. So this is our project. That's it.